Has headstand always been an elusive yoga posture that you just couldn't master? Or maybe you've never tried any inversions, but you're curious and willing to attempt it. Inversions are a wonderful opportunity for us to push our physical limits, challenge our mindset, and improve cardiovascular circulation while strengthening the upper body and spine. If you're ready to attempt this fun, challenging posture, join me on the mat. Hi friends, I'm Chelsea with Ascend Your Asana, and we're going to get started in today's class in a thunderbolt posture or a low kneeling posture. Feel free to bring your hands onto your knees and gently close your eyelids. We're going to take this time to connect with our breath and connect with how we're feeling today. Allow your mind to find stillness and feel your breath entering into your body, swelling your lungs with oxygen before breathing it out. Now let's take a deep inhale, arms to the sky, and then gently exhale out. Take one more deep inhale, and on your exhale, drop your right hand to the mat and extend your left arm overhead to the right side. Breathe life into that side body before switching sides, this time reaching your right arm overhead. Take a deep inhale over to the right side again, breathing life into that side body, and then gently over to the other side. Now release that right arm over to the right, outstretched long, and outstretch that left arm. And gently rock your chin from your clavicle over to your left shoulder, feeling that stretch through the neck. Just gently rock it back and forth, tucking it in towards your chest. And we'll switch sides, dropping that right hand to the mat and outstretching that left arm by the side. Rock that chin over to the right shoulder. Breathing life into that neck. Just gently rock back and forth, feeling the stretch, allowing to release any tension. Now take a deep inhale, arms up to the sky, and use your left hand to guide that right arm behind the body. Bend that right elbow and feel that stretch through the shoulder. Take a deep inhale and then exhale, release. This time using your right hand to guide that left arm behind the head. Take another deep inhale, breathing into that shoulder. And then exhale, feel free to release. We're going to adjust now to come into a kneeling posture facing the front of our mat. Clasp our hands together and push those palms away from you. Inhale them up to the sky, shoulder blades squeezing, and then exhale, drop them to your knees, rounding the upper back. Inhale as you pull up, and exhale, release, rounding and tucking that chin. Deep inhale, stretching those shoulders back. And exhale, release. Deep inhale, opening up through the heart. Exhale. Let's do one last one. Inhale, arms up to the sky. And exhale, release. We're going to come into a tabletop posture for some cat-cows. So knees under hips. Let's take a deep inhale, dropping our chest. And exhale, round through that upper back, tucking that chin. Deep inhale, really exaggerated movements in the spine here. And exhale, push that mat away as you round that spine and tuck that chin in towards your chest. Continue this movement, breathing and moving with your breath. Breathing life into that spine, feeling vertebrae by vertebrae as you round through the spine. And we're going to come into center now and walk our hands to the front of our mat into this extended puppy pose. Allow your shoulders to open, your heart to release toward your mat, and then round your hips forward and come into Sphinx pose, only for a moment before stretching those hips back into extended puppy pose. Inhale, roll forward again, Sphinx pose. Exhale, push yourself back into extended puppy. Breathing into that spine, roll forward, Sphinx pose, engaged core here. Exhale, push yourself back, extended puppy, chest sinking towards the mat. Inhale, round forward one last time into Sphinx pose. Back of the feet pushing into the mat, and allow your head to hang heavy and just sway your chin from shoulder to shoulder. Feel gravity pulling your head down and getting a deep stretch through the back of the neck. Allowing any tension to release out of the upper back as we move our chin back and forth. And let's release this time, tucking those toes under. We're going to push ourselves up into a forearm plank. Engage your core to keep your butt from getting too high and just shift your weight back and forth. So your shoulders are shifting towards your wrists before coming back over your elbows, using your heels and your toes to shift your weight back and forth. Now let's try some scapular pro and retractions by pushing the mat away, rounding the upper back, and allowing your shoulder blades to squeeze together as you come down. Broadening your shoulder blades as you inhale up, and then exhale, release down, bring those shoulder blades back together. Awesome job. Now we're going to walk our feet in and come into a dolphin posture. So walk them in as close to your body as you can. And we're going to just gently bend the knees towards the mat. So take a deep inhale, and on your exhale, bend those knees, dropping them towards the mat, and then inhale them back up. Exhale, drop those knees, inhale back up. Continue this movement, really opening up through those shoulder blades, keeping your abs nice and engaged, your glutes engaged, and stretching those heels to the mat as you rise up. Bend those knees and rise up. Great job. Now let's sweep that right leg back for some dolphin mountain climbers. Exhale as you tuck your knee in towards your chest, and inhale as you extend that leg long. Continue this movement, bringing your shoulders towards over top your wrists as you come in. Pause a moment, rise up, and drop that right foot in between the hands. Drop that left knee, and inhale your arms up to the sky before cactusing those arms, squeezing those shoulder blades into this low lunge. Now release your left hand to the mat and extend that right arm long behind the body, grabbing that left foot if you can. Breathing into that left hip flexor. Let's pause a moment and then release that foot. Now pop that left knee off the mat and come into this humble high lunge. Arms outstretched forward and strong right leg. And then straighten that right leg, dropping your head and your chest onto that leg for pyramid pose. Maybe you outstretch your arms long now underneath the body for this modification of the posture. And just breathe into that right leg. Now pop that left leg off the mat as you bring your weight into the right leg into this standing split. You can keep your arms where they are or bring them into a more supportive position if you'd like. Breathe into that front leg and then drop that left leg back to the mat. Send that right leg back, one-legged chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog. And then exhale, let's send those hips back into downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale onto those toes and then exhale, stretch those heels towards the mat. We're going to drop back down to our forearms now in this dolphin pose. And on our inhale, we're going to extend that left leg long, and exhale, tuck it in towards the chest for these dolphin mountain climbers. Continue this movement, breathing through the postures. Exhale in and inhale, extend it long, come up off of our elbows, and then tuck that left foot in between the hands. Drop that right knee. Inhale our arms up to the sky in this low lunge. And then exhale, take those arms wide, squeezing those shoulder blades and opening up through the heart. Let's reach that left arm back to grab the right ankle if you can, opening up through that right hip flexor. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, you can release that foot to the mat. Let's release that right knee off the mat now as we rise up into this humble crescent lunge. Strong front leg here, core engaged, arms reaching out towards the front before sinking back down into that pyramid pose. Chest and head coming towards your knee. Allow yourself to sink deeper, maybe outstretching those arms underneath the body. Now let's ground through that left leg as we send our weight into it, popping that right leg off the mat, coming into this standing split. Allowing our bodies to get comfortable inverted. Hold here a moment. Breathing and release that back leg down to the mat. Send that left leg back, one-legged chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog. And then exhale, send it back into downward facing dog. Take a nice big inhale and then exhale. Let's roll forward now and come into a seated position for half boat pose. So bring your legs up, shins parallel to the mat, and take your arms long beside the legs. Feel free to reposition yourself if you need to. We're going to take a deep breath in and exhale. On your next inhale, lower down into hollow boat pose, arms overhead, legs hovering, and exhale, crunch it into this half boat. 3 more. Inhale as you lower down, hollow boat. Inhale, crunch it forward, half boat. 2 more. Hollow boat. And rise up, half boat. Last one, hollow boat. This time, instead of coming up, we're going to crunch our knees in towards our face and inhale, hollow boat. Exhale, crunch those knees in. Inhale, hollow. Exhale, crunch. And then inhale. This hollow boat is preparing ourselves for the headstand, teaching us to keep our core engaged and our legs active with our arms overhead, getting that nice, long, strong midline. Now pause at the bottom here and let's do those flutter kicks. So kick your legs back and forth, arms and legs hovering off the mat, strong core, really working those lower abs. And then release. Bring those knees in towards your chest and allow yourself to relax. Gently rock back and forth, giving your spine a nice little massage. Allowing your abdominal muscles to relax. Now grab those knees and slowly rock yourself up back into a seated posture. We're going to start preparing ourselves to practice headstand. So we're going to get started in a kneeling posture and we're going to try some shoulder protractions and retractions. So bring your arms overhead, clasp your hands together, and bend those elbows, so dropping those hands behind your head. We're trying to elevate our forearms so that they're higher than the crown of our head, and this will allow us to balance more on our forearms than on our necks and our heads to really protect that cervical spine. That's crucial in headstand for protecting your spine. So protract your shoulders, pushing them up towards the sky, and then retract, allowing them to drop down. Protract, pushing them up, your forearms elevating over the crown of your head, and drop back down. Push them up and back down. Hopefully you can see and feel the difference in the movement of your arms. We're going to be really focusing on protracting those shoulders and headstand to protect our neck. So let's drop our head into our hands clasped together, and we're going to try some exercises here. So bring your knees off the mat and walk your toes in as much as you can. We're going to alternate raising one leg up to the sky and then the other, remembering to protract those shoulders so we're putting a lot of weight into our forearms instead of our head. Bring that right leg up, pointing those toes high, and then the left leg. Great job. Feel free to pause the video if you need a break. Now we're going to continue this movement, this time coming up as high as you can onto your toes as your other leg reaches towards the sky. Getting up onto those toes as much as possible, maybe pausing at the top if you'd like, before slowly lowering back down. Great job. Now we're going to start practicing hopping up into that headstand. Feel free to move against a wall if you'd like. We're just going to catch our breath here a moment. When you're ready, clasp your hands together and place your head in between your hands, remembering to protract those shoulders, putting a lot of weight into your forearms. Using your dominant leg, slowly and gently try to kick yourself up until you maybe find your balance. Bringing those legs together, pointing those toes towards the ceiling, finding that hollowness like we did in Hollow Boat, knitting those ribs down. Strong core. Pushing those forearms into the mat before slowly lowering back down. Great job. If you didn't make it this round, that's okay. We're going to try it one more time. Allow yourself to rest in child's pose. Maybe have your arms resting beside the body. Just reconnect with your breath. Allow your heart rate to come down. And when you're ready, we're going to try this one more time. So gently drop your head in between your hands. Lift yourself up. And slowly see if you can just rock your weight back and forth. Light hops here. Maybe you find your balance, maybe you don't. If you can, bring those legs together, pointing those toes, finding nice length through the body, pushing your forearms into the mat to try to take that pressure off your head. Core engaged here, really strong abs, finding hollowness through the body. Breathe, and then release back down. Feel free to pause this video if you'd like to continue practicing. Otherwise, let's rest in that child's pose again. You should be proud of wherever you are in this journey, even if you weren't able to accomplish it today. Continue practicing and working on those strengthening drills, and one day it may be possible. But if you are having neck issues, always remember to talk with your doctor prior to practicing. Now let's clasp those hands behind the back and pull them up towards the ceiling. Getting a deep stretch through the chest. Take a deep inhale as we rise up to seated, stretching our arms towards the mat behind us, opening up through the heart. And then exhale, release. Let's bring our legs forward now. We're going to come into a reverse plank. So bring our hands behind the body and push your pelvis up to the sky. Toes pointed, keeping those feet flat on the mat. Pushing that pelvis forward, engage those glutes, strong engaged legs here. Breathing and stretching through the chest before dropping back down. We're going to slowly lower ourselves onto our mat and come into a bridge posture. So keep your heels close to where your hands are. Allow your pelvis to rise up into bridge pose, glutes engaged, and slowly lower down. Take a deep inhale as you push your pelvis forward, and then exhale, slowly lower. This time on your inhale, slowly raise your arms up overhead, squeezing those knees together. And then exhale, release those arms back down to the mat. Deep inhale, sweep those arms up overhead. And exhale, release. 2 more. Deep inhale, rise up, squeezing those glutes. Exhale, back down. Inhale, rise up, squeezing those knees towards each other. And then exhale, release. Excellent job. This time we're going to rise up into that bridge pose again and tuck our hands under our hips, allowing our hips to be completely supported by our arms. So walk your elbows in just a little bit if you need to. Really support those hips underneath, and maybe see if you can slowly release your legs overhead now, pulling our knees in towards our shoulders. And then extending those legs long to the back of your mat. You can keep your hands on your lower back supporting you, or you can release them to the mat. Keeping the weight in your shoulders and not in your neck in this plow pose. Take a deep inhale and then exhale. Bring your arms back up to your lower back if you can. And you can gently release your legs now, resting your knees by your shoulders. Breathe through this posture. You can stay here, or if you'd like to extend your legs overhead into shoulder stand, feel free to do so. Keep that core engaged, your glutes squeezing, active legs, and pointing those toes towards the sky. Before slowly releasing back down, allow your arms to gently guide yourself back down. And we're going to rest in this knees to chest pose again. Allow yourself to gently wind down, maybe rocking back and forth on your spine. Allowing your heart rate to come down. Start to reconnect with your breath. And let's slowly release our legs at this time. Maybe reposition yourself if you need to. We're going to bring our feet to the edges of our mat and allow our knees to just fall inward towards each other. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Now let's slowly start alternating, dropping one knee in towards the middle and then the other. Kind of windmilling our knees back and forth. Very gentle, slow, and mindful movements. Just taking note of anything you're feeling at this time. Remembering to breathe. And when you're ready, let's gently guide those knees over to the left side and extend our right arm long. Allow your gaze to follow your right fingertips, or maybe even close your eyes. Allow yourself to find stillness. And then slowly release your legs over to the right side now, extending that left arm out long. And continue breathing. Just allow all tension to release out of the body. And when you're ready, you can slowly release and prepare yourself for Shavasana. So get yourself into a comfortable position. Allow your legs to release any tension, your ankles to hang heavy, relaxing your shoulders back, allowing gravity to pull them into the mat, allowing your grip to soften. Release any tension out of your face. And notice the oxygen coming into your lungs and swelling your whole abdomen with air before slowly exhaling it out. Continue just mindfully observing your breath, allowing it to lull you into a state of stillness and peace. Thank you so much for choosing to practice with me today. If you enjoyed this yoga class, please like and subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every Sunday.